Hey guys, Rolando here. Today I'm going to be reviewing Captain America, the first Avenger. Leading up until the new Avengers movie Endgame, I'm going to be reviewing every single movie in the MCU. So, that's going to be fun. I'm excited to take this journey with you guys. By the way, I'm going to be reviewing the movie in the order which I believe they should be viewed, the order that these movies take place within this universe's timeline. That's the way I'm reviewing them. Not the order of release, but the order that I think they take place in the timeline. Which, not to brag, I think it's pretty fucking good. On to the review. Captain America, First Avenger, takes place in the 1940s in the heat of World War II. Steve Rogers is like, hey, all these men are going off to the war, I should be doing the same, but he can't do it because he's a fucking asthmatic and he's skinny as shit. No one's gonna let him join, but he keeps on trying, and eventually he gets word from this fucking scientist. He's like, hey, we can hook you up with these shits, and then boom, 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 it's fucking Captain America. Yeah. I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is like one of my least favorite movies to watch in this entire universe. It's just boring as hell for me. It's written by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, which is weird because that's the same people that wrote Infinity War. And it's like, what the fuck were they doing? The character of Steve Rogers, I like them a lot in this movie. I get a lot of heart from him. But just everybody else is just kind of bland and boring. It's so basic to me. There's this one story after Steve gets his super soldier serum and he becomes Captain America. He's basically just like a propaganda monkey, which I really enjoyed. I found that really interesting for a superhero movie to do that, especially like with the time period and everything. I just found it interesting, and unique. But a lot of this movie, I felt this way ever since the very first time I saw it when I was a kid. It's just boring to watch. Like it's dull. I don't like the aesthetic of it that much. I don't know. It's weird. That's just my opinion, though. This movie is paced really weird. Like, the first act is super slow. Like, it's like 40 minutes of building up until he gets the serum to become Captain America. This movie drags on so much. Oh my god. I don't completely hate it, though. The action scenes at the end were fucking dope as hell. God, I'm cursing a lot in this. I'm sorry. But the action scenes were dope as hell. Like, the whole, last, 30 minutes, basically the third act, I really enjoyed. I just hate this one montage of Captain America going around and killing Nazis. That sucked. I wanted to see more of that. I didn't want it to be in a 2-minute montage. The main villain in this movie is Red Skull. He's a cookie-cutter villain. He's average as hell. There's nothing interesting about him, but he sure as hell isn't the worst. He isn't the worst, but he's not the best, Same thing with Steve Rogers' relationship with Peggy Carter in this movie. It's like, it's there. It's not the best, but it's also not the worst. Everything in this movie is just painfully average. It's not like this movie is hard for me to watch. I've made it through it. I've seen this movie a lot of times in my life. It's just I wouldn't prefer to watch it. I only watch it when I do these marathon things. But it's not the worst. This movie has a lot of heart to it. The character of Steve Rogers is actually written really well. There's just this respect for him that you just have, where he's just an ordinary guy doing the best he can, and he just has so much heart, and I love that so much. I really like the relationship he has with his best friend, Bucky Barnes. Rest in peace, because he dies in this movie. How old is this movie? You should have seen it. Bucky's fucking dead. I'm having way too much fun reviewing this. It's a horrible review I'm doing. I'm so sorry. This movie has actually great actors in it. Hugo Weaving, wasted. Tommy Lee Jones, wasted. I don't know why they're bringing big name actors to have them in 10 minutes of screen time. It's ridiculous. God, I'm really shitting on this movie a lot, but it's not my least favorite. It's one of them, but it's not the ultimate least favorite, This movie is paced really slow, like I mentioned before, but that really gets you into the character of Captain America, and you see his viewpoints. You become part of him, if that sounds weird enough. But this movie does a great job at putting you in his shoes and seeing things from his eyes, and what's right and what's wrong and what's the right thing to do in his eye. And I really love that the film was able to do that. I mentioned earlier the 30-minute action scene. The whole last act is just amazing. The action and everything, it's great. The shield physics make no goddamn sense, but who cares? Captain America Steve Rogers is just this... He's such a likable and respectable person. You can't just... No matter how much he fucks up and everything, you're just he's awesome. Like, he does his best, and he has such a pure heart of gold. Like, he just wants to help everybody, no matter what. And you can't just help but to respect the guy, you know? In the overall cinematic universe of these Marvel movies, I really enjoyed how this movie, even though it came out later on in Phase 1, it came out towards the end of Phase 1, but I really enjoyed how it planted the seeds for what would eventually become S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything. I love those little, like, Easter eggs towards the greater universe, where you see little things starting in one movie, and then eventually they grow and expand and expand and expand, just like with this movie in a Tesseract, which, you know, will become really important, like, in how many movies? Like, 20 more movies? So, yeah, that's great. Overall, there is enjoyment to be had, and the character of Captain America is honestly great. To this day, they set up so much for Captain America as a character, and he's still that same person to this day, even after Infinity War, and it's like, you can't just help but to respect him. Like, he's such a strongly written character, and I love that. Overall, I give this movie a 6.5 out of 10. It's a painfully average movie, but it's not the worst in this universe. Believe you me, it's not. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it, but have you guys seen Captain America, First Avenger? The first one. He's the first. But if you guys seen it, let me know in the comments down below. I know a lot of people like this movie, so if you disagree with me, just fucking rip my asshole apart, please. I'm putting up end cards. Bam! I'm gonna be reviewing all of these movies, so stick with me, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.